How does the JavaScript prototype chain work for inheritance? Imagine you have a set of building blocks, each connected to the next, creating a chain. This chain helps objects in JavaScript share properties and methods without copying everything. When you create an object, it has an internal link to another object called its prototype. Think of this like a parent object that shares its features. When you try to access a property or method on your object, JavaScript first checks if it exists there. If it does not find it, it follows the link to the prototype and looks there next. This process continues up the chain until it finds the property or reaches the end, which is an object with a prototype of null. Usually, this last object is called Object.prototype. If the property isn't found anywhere along the chain, JavaScript returns undefined. This setup allows objects to share behavior efficiently. For example, if you create a constructor function called person and add a method called greet to its prototype, every object created with person will have access to greet. When you call person greet, JavaScript looks at the person object first. If greet isn't there, it checks the prototype linked to person, which is person prototype, and finds the method. This is how inheritance works in JavaScript, through the prototype chain. It's different from classical inheritance in languages like Java or C++. JavaScript doesn't have classes in the traditional sense, although S6 introduced class syntax as a way to write cleaner code. But under the hood, it still uses prototypes. The prototype chain is dynamic, meaning you can change it at runtime. You can add new properties or methods to a prototype, and all objects linked to that prototype will see the updates immediately. Understanding the prototype chain helps you see how objects share features and how inheritance is built in JavaScript. It also explains how built-in objects like arrays and functions inherit their methods. When you work with variables and data types, especially object data types, knowing how the prototype chain works makes your code more efficient and easier to debug. It shows you that objects are not isolated. They are part of a linked system that shares behavior through prototypes. This knowledge is key to mastering JavaScript core concepts and writing better web applications.